Are you over 50? If you notice that the energy you had in your 40s is gone, if your concentration falters by mid-afternoon, if your extremities feel cold, or if the dynamism you desire in your personal life seems to have vanished, perhaps you've been told, it's just aging, and you, with the best intentions, may have doubled your intake of plain water, hoping that will solve the problem. But let me be blunt. After a certain age, drinking only water isn't enough. In fact, if you're a man over 50 and you're only drinking plain water, you're ignoring the silent crisis that's draining your vitality from within. The problem isn't water, but the vital ingredient your body has stopped producing. I'm Dr. Elena Castillo, and my mission is to be a safe haven of practical wisdom for adult life. I've helped thousands of people rediscover their vitality, and I know that feeling of sluggishness isn't a sign of aging. It's a circulatory problem called the nitric oxide crisis. Nitric oxide, or NO, is the miracle gas that dilates your arteries, allows your blood to flow like a youthful river, oxygenates your brain, and is, in essence, the engine of your physical stamina, and, yes, your sexual potency, too. After 50, the body's natural NO production in your endothelial cells dries up. Water alone doesn't give your body the building blocks it needs to restart that production. It's time to stop drinking plain water and turn it into a revitalizing beverage, capable of reversing arterial stiffness and restoring your lost spark. In this session, we will transform your daily hydration with simple ingredients that will reactivate your circulatory system, improving your energy, your mind, and your overall well-being. Often, when we experience chronic fatigue, we blame sleep or stress, and while these are contributing factors, the real culprit behind this feeling of sluggishness is a lack of internal fluidity. Plain water, although vital for cell survival, doesn't contain the molecular precursors necessary for the endothelial cell, that nitric oxide, NO factory, to do its job. Imagine you're the manager of a factory. You make sure there's drinking water for all the employees. But if you don't provide them with the raw materials, the metals, the plastic, or whatever it is you produce, the production line grinds to a halt. Starting at 50, those crucial raw materials are inorganic nitrates, and the amino acids L-citrulline and L-arginine. These are the building blocks I'm talking about. When your body is experiencing a nitric oxide crisis, your blood vessels become rigid and narrow. It's like trying to water a garden with a kinked hose. The pressure drops, and the water doesn't reach the farthest flowers. That's why you notice cold hands and feet, difficulty concentrating, because your brain isn't properly oxygenated, and a noticeable decrease in physical stamina, not to mention your sex life. The practical solution, which we can start implementing today, doesn't require expensive medications, but rather a re-engineering of how we use daily nutrition to support our biology. We're looking to reactivate the nitrite-nitric oxide pathway. This pathway, as simple as it sounds, is incredibly powerful. It begins in your mouth, with the help of specific bacteria, and requires a constant and potent source of nitrates. So where do we find these nitrates, these natural NO boosters? The answer is simple and delicious. Root vegetables and dark leafy greens. Think beets or concentrated spinach juice. These foods not only hydrate you, but they also flood your system with those molecular building blocks that restart nitric oxide production. Transforming a simple glass of water into a circulatory elixir with these ingredients is the difference between accepting the slowness of aging or actively fighting for the vitality you deserve. It's not just about ingesting these precursors, but about their bioavailability. We need to ensure that the nitrates reach the point where your body can efficiently convert them into nitric oxide, NO. This is where the second line of defense comes into play. If the nitrate pathway is somewhat impaired, we need to support the L-arginine, L-citrulline pathway, the other molecular route for generating this vital gas. In my clinical experience, L-citrulline is superior to oral L-arginine for many adults. Although arginine is the direct precursor, it tends to be rapidly broken down by the liver before it can perform its circulatory function. Citrulline, on the other hand, acts like a Trojan horse, bypassing the liver's initial metabolism and then steadily and efficiently converting into arginine dye, and from there, directly into nitric oxide. This dual strategy, dietary nitrates plus citrulline, creates a synergistic effect that you can feel within days. You'll experience a gentle warmth in your extremities, a clearer mind, and, most importantly, that sustained energy you thought you'd lost over the years. It's time to stop viewing hydration as an obligation and start seeing it as your daily circulatory therapy. When we talk about that sustained energy, I'm not referring to the roller coaster of caffeine or sugar spikes and crashes. I'm referring to your body's ability to keep up without the metabolic burnout that comes from a lack of oxygen. Think of the teacher who, at 70, still spends the morning teaching, or the gardener who cultivates without having to sit down every half hour because their brain is desperately craving oxygen. That stamina isn't just muscular, it's circulatory stamina. It's the direct result of having enough nitric oxide to nourish every cell, every muscle, and every synapse. In my clinical practice, this combination of nitrates and citrulline has been transformative, especially for those patients who suffer from persistent coldness in their hands and feet. A classic symptom of compromised microcirculation. It's a tangible change, a warmth returning to the extremities, not an abstract promise. It's crucial to understand that this strategy is a maintenance program, not a shock solution. Nitric oxide degrades rapidly, so the key is consistent production. This is where the brilliance of the second ingredient that guarantees emergency supply comes into play, the molecular Trojan horse I mentioned earlier. Let's move on to that pillar of support, L-citrulline. If beetroot powder is the catalyst that provides the initial rapid circulatory boost, our ingredient 1, L-citrulline is the foundation that ensures that boost continues for hours. This is our second line of defense, and it's vital. L-citrulline is not only the most efficient precursor to arginine, but it also acts as a silent reservoir of nitric oxide. When you ingest it, the body readily absorbs it and recycles it exceptionally well through the kidneys to slowly and steadily transform it into L-arginine. This sustained recycling process is what makes it so much better than simply taking arginine orally. Not only does it produce arginine, but the conversion process inhibits the enzymes that typically destroy arginine too quickly in the liver. We're talking a double molecular victory, increased production and reduced destruction of the NO precursor. By ensuring this continuous supply of L-arginine, we guarantee that your arteries can dilate on demand, keeping them flexible and functional throughout the day. This maintenance capacity is what differentiates fleeting vitality from lasting resilience. We've optimized production with beetroot powder. We've ensured a sustainable supply and recycling with L-citrulline, but now we face the most cunning and persistent enemy in the war against arterial stiffness, oxidative stress. Nitric oxide, despite being a powerful vasodilator, is inherently fragile. It's a molecule that degrades or is instantly neutralized upon contact with free radicals, which are ubiquitous due to the modern diet, chronic stress, and subclinical inflammation. It's like turning on a flashlight in the dark, only to have a gust of wind immediately extinguish it. If you invest energy in producing NO only to have it destroyed in seconds, the arterial dilation will be fleeting and ineffective. This is where the third pillar of this formulation comes into play, the ingredient that acts as the molecular bodyguard. Our ingredient 3, pomegranate, Punica granatum, the protector. Pomegranate isn't an ingredient added for its flavor or color. We chose it for its unparalleled potency in one specific area, the antioxidant protection of nitric oxide. The power of pomegranate lies in its star phytochemicals, known as punicolagens. Punicolagens are incredibly large and complex antioxidants that have the unique ability to protect and stabilize both the endothelial lining of arteries, the cells that produce NO, and the nitric oxide that has already been produced. Think of it like applying a coat of protective varnish to a work of art. By stabilizing NO, punicolagens prevent the molecule from oxidizing rapidly, prolonging its lifespan in the bloodstream. This means that the as open a signal sent by beetroot and citrulline isn't a fleeting command, but a lasting instruction for your arteries. Thanks to this shield, nitric oxide can work its arterial relaxation magic for longer. This prolonging effect has direct implications for male vitality. When blood flow is consistent and resilient, it not only improves peripheral circulatory function, but also indirectly supports a healthier hormonal environment. Increased blood flow helps deliver crucial hormones, such as testosterone, more efficiently to target tissues. Furthermore, by reducing overall oxidative stress in the vascular system, inflammation is reduced, a known factor that inhibits natural testosterone production and the sensitivity of its receptors. We are not adding hormones, but rather optimizing the delivery pathway and biological environment so that your own natural processes function at their peak. We are prioritizing quality over quantity, circulation that is not only strong but also resilient to daily wear and tear. It is the synergy of continuous production, citrulline, and robust protection, pomegranate, that transforms a temporary improvement into lasting resilience. Let me delve deeper into the central role of L-citrulline, the true fuel of this vascular restoration system. Many men, upon learning that nitric oxide is produced from the amino acid L-arginine, make the mistake of supplementing directly with arginine. And while in theory this seems like the most direct route, biological practice is quite different and often disappointing. Arginine, unfortunately, falls victim to a phenomenon known as the first pass effect. Imagine arginine as a messenger that must deliver an urgent package, the signal to relax and open arteries, to the vascular cells. To reach its destination, it must pass through a very strict and highly active toll booth, the gut and liver. These organs contain enzymes, such as arginase, that quickly metabolize or intercept much of the arginine before it can reach the systemic bloodstream where it's truly needed. The result is that even high doses of arginine offer very low bioavailability and a fleeting effect. It's like trying to fill a swimming pool using a hose full of holes. This is where citrulline shows its biochemical brilliance. L-citrulline is, in essence, a smart and resilient precursor. It travels discreetly through the digestive system, bypassing the liver's processing without being detected or degraded. Once citrulline is absorbed and reaches the kidneys and endothelium, the inner walls of the arteries, the body has the time and the necessary enzymatic machinery to convert it slowly into arginine. And crucially, this conversion happens exactly where we need it for nitric oxide production. Think of it this way. L-arginine is a fast-moving energy spike. L-citrulline is a steady, regulated, and efficient supply of raw material. This gradual conversion not only ensures superior bioavailability, studies show that citrulline can raise plasma arginine levels much more effectively and sustainably than arginine alone, but also guarantees stable and long-lasting arterial dilation. For erectile function, flow stability and resistance are just as important as initial volume. We don't want a 5-minute reaction, but rather vascular resilience that can sustain performance when needed. That's why citrulline, the amino acid found in high concentrations in watermelon, is a precision biochemical tool that optimizes the flexibility and responsiveness of your blood vessels. By ensuring a constant supply of internal arginine, we're ensuring that the nitric oxide, no factory, is operational 24/7, ready to meet demand. We're creating an internal reservoir that direct supplementation simply can't match. This is the difference between a temporary fix and a true recalibration of the circulatory system. We've talked about citrulline as the fuel, the constant and regulated supply of raw material for nitric oxide. But, my dear friends, what good is having the best fuel if the engine is rusty, dirty, and the pipes are stiff or half-clogged? We need the engineer and the mechanic. We need the ingredient that not only boosts production, but also repairs the infrastructure where the magic happens. And that's the fourth pillar of our formula, pinheiro bark extract. This extract, scientifically known as an exceptional source of oligomeric proanthocyanidins, a class of extremely potent flavonoids, is undoubtedly the master amplifier of this formula. We've named this ingredient the mechanic, because it works by repairing and rejuvenating the critical surface that determines circulatory health, the endothelium. The endothelium is that incredibly delicate, single-celled layer that lines the inside of every blood vessel. It's the most important biological structure for vascular health, the true conductor that decides when and how much nitric oxide should be released to achieve dilation. Over the years, and due to oxidative stress, chronic inflammation caused by poor diet or stress, and cholesterol damage, this endothelium deteriorates. It becomes rigid, inefficient, and essentially sluggish. The endothelial cells, which house the enzyme ENOS, the nitric oxide factory, begin to function at half capacity. This endothelial deterioration is the root of erectile dysfunction and most cardiovascular problems. Pine extract acts as a powerful antioxidant and cell regenerator, specifically targeting the endothelium. It literally helps cleanse and repair accumulated cell damage, restoring the responsiveness and flexibility of blood vessels. But its most remarkable role, the one that makes it indispensable, is its synergy with citrulline. Remember, citrulline provides the raw material. Pine extract enhances the activity of the ENOS enzyme. This means that the raw material provided by citrulline is converted into nitric oxide at a much faster rate and with greater efficiency, and crucially, it protects that no molecule once it's produced. Nitric oxide is fragile. Free radicals in an inflamed system deactivate it almost instantly. Pine extract acts as a protective shield, ensuring that the NO lives long enough to fulfill its role of relaxing the smooth muscles of the arteries and allowing that surge of blood flow. By combining these two elements, we not only increase the supply of fuel, citrulline, but we also accelerate production, protect the final product, and, most importantly, restore the structural integrity of the blood vessels, the endothelium. This dual effect ensures that the arterial flexibility and elasticity crucial for robust and long-lasting erectile function is not a temporary chemical reaction, but a profound functional improvement of the circulatory system. We are, in essence, relubricating and recalibrating the engine. We've seen how the synergistic combination of L-citrulline and maritime pine extract isn't just a quick fix, but a profound functional strategy for restoring endothelial health, optimizing nitric oxide production, and ensuring robust and lasting arterial blood flow. Now that you understand this mechanism and how we can relubricate and recalibrate our internal engine, what's the first functional change you plan to implement in your routine to protect your endothelium? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this information helpful and would like to delve deeper into the science of functional wellness, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss our analyses, and share this knowledge with those who need it. As always, thank you for your trust and for being part of this community. With love and science, I remain Dr. Elena Castillo,